Okay, hey everybody. This is Big Lair here on Jack's Private Coffee Corner. Yeah. Today is September 23rd. Let's see, it's about 4:25 p.m. for me. So day's more than half over. We had a kind of a typhoon, well, not kind of a typhoon. There was a typhoon number 17, as they referred to it in Japan. Typhoon number 17 rolled in above us, north of us, where I am now. And we caught some super heavy winds and rain from early this morning until around, 9 this morning. And then it's kind of cleared up since then, so it's just perfect. I wanted to make this video a little earlier, but today's my day off from exercising. And because it's my day off, it means I do burpees today. I do burpees because, burpees, that exercise that you've seen people do at the gym or the military or something. I do burpees because I dislike them so much. They're a really tiring exercise, If anybody has done any serious deadlifting, like powerlifting, deadlifting, right? If you've done any kind of heavy deadlifting for high reps, and high reps I would say anywhere from 8 to 15 reps with a heavy weight for deadlifting, it like takes the wind out of you, right? It gets your heart pumping and you're breathing like crazy. Burpees does the same thing for me, so and that's why I do burpees, because they're just so damn hard. So on my day off, I force myself to do burpees. So I'm sticking with my plan. I got my program and I'm working it. Okay, let's see. Today will be my Monday crypto update. Let's see, lots of news going on here. My first one, I got this from the Wall Street Journal's Asia edition. And let's see, let's give a shout out to the authors here, Dave Michaels and Paul Vigna. This was from yesterday evening here in Asia. And this is really funny. This is a fun title of their article. It says, "The Coming Currency War, Digital Money versus the Dollar." Talks about how central banks are getting closer to issuing their own digital currency, and if they do so, what effect will that have on the US dollar? So it's kind of fun because they talk about, if you hear any noise, I'm mixing my protein shake up here. That'll be my drink of choice today, a protein shake. They're talking about people who are interested in cryptocurrencies and digital assets and how this is going to change things. But then they say such a future, of course, might be a disappointment to many libertarians and tech-savvy investors who are pinning their hopes, and in some cases their money, on private cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Oh man, don't you just love this stuff? First of all, I love when they use war in the title of something, remember years ago we had the war on drugs when Reagan was president. Then we had the war on poverty, the war on homelessness, the war on terror. So you're moving up when they use the word war in reference to something you're interested in. And this was an interesting article because it's informing us about digital money. It's giving us hope. Hey, it could replace fiat currencies. And then they pull the carpet right out from under us and say that there might be disappointment. So anyway, the Wall Street Journal is talking about cryptocurrencies. That's pretty awesome. Okay, let's move on here. This next one here, I've got some notes that I'm rustling around. This is from the Independent newspaper in Ireland. This is their online edition. Charlie Weston is the author. This is from today, I believe this morning, very early this morning. That's what's cool about the internet. You can, I don't know where Charlie Weston is, but if it was posted at 2:30 in the morning, that's not a usual time to post news articles. But maybe he's sitting somewhere at his house or wherever, different location in the world, and he cranked out this story and boom, he sent it in, and that's when it got put up on the website. The one thing I will say is this article is pretty sparse. Each sentence is its own paragraph. Wow, what's it got here? 9 sentences for this whole article. Hey man, if you can do it, do it. And the article's title is Most Savings Accounts Fail to Beat Inflation. I think all of you listening to me, you probably have already realized that your savings account, the interest you get on your savings account, is in no way outperforming the rate of inflation, right? Boy, here in Japan, I think the banks are at like 0.00 something interest. You know, you're not even getting, you know, you're down to like a, you know, 1/100th or 1/1000th of a percent. It's just crazy. In fact, I think I've mentioned this before. I had a bank account that I had forgotten about in Japan, and don't ask me how you can forget about a bank account, because it's a long story. Anyway, well, when you work for companies in Japan, they have a preferred bank, and they don't want to send your salary to a different bank because it incurs higher fees. So they get around this by saying, hey, you know, let's open up a bank account at this bank for you. And most companies, interestingly enough, in the past did it for me. Someone just went to the bank, opened up an account in my name. I'm not sure how they ever did that, and handed me the passbook and my ATM card. So it was one of those deals. So I'd forgotten about this account, had some money in it, did not even look at it for 9 years. Realized it last year. Went to the bank, put the bank book in the ATM machine. I had no interest in 8 years' time. Pretty crazy, huh? So yeah, savings accounts, at least in Japan, you're not getting anything on those. I do know in other Southeast Asian countries, like in Malaysia, you're getting close to 4%. Probably a regular savings, depending on what kind of savings account you have, you're getting around the 2% mark. But if you put it in one of those, what do they call those? A certificate of deposit, something like that, where you agree to put it in there for 3 months or 6 months or a year. I know those are getting around 4% right now. I'm trying to think. I heard from someone a couple months ago, they had put their money somewhere else in an Asian bank, a Southeast Asian bank, and they were getting 5 or 6%. So, you know, if you shop around and you're willing to take the risk, I would say Malaysia is a very safe place to put your money, and no problem. That's just in my opinion. I'm not giving any advice on what to do, but in my opinion, it's a very safe place to have money in the bank. Okay, so back to this article here. You know, they're basically telling us what we already know, right? If you have your money in a savings account, you're not getting jack squat for it. You're actually probably losing money by keeping it in there, because inflation is outpacing your savings. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Facebook, Libra. What do we got here? So Facebook has announced that Libra will be backed by certain currencies, and the US dollar will make up 50% of those reserves. And let's see. Let me give a shout out to the person who put this article together. This is beincrypto.com. Do they have an author on this? Some of these articles don't have authors. Okay, Anton Lucian. This is about 4 hours ago. Wow, 4 hours ago. Okay. Yes, and so the dollar is going to make up 50% of the reserves for Libra. This is getting pretty serious. The remaining 50% will be the euro, the yen, the British sterling, and the Singapore dollar. That's interesting, those choices. No Chinese yuan. Okay, I'm not surprised about the dollar, the euro, the yen, or the British sterling, but I am surprised about the Singapore dollar. That shows that they have a certain amount of faith and confidence in those currencies, right? And Mark Zuckerberg, he just met with President Trump. When was it? A couple days ago. And I bet Libra was definitely on the list of things they talked about, right? Some countries, some of the central banks in Europe have said they will do all they can to keep Libra out of their country. I think Facebook only needs to get approval in America for this thing. And once they do that, that'll put a lot of pressure on these other countries to jump on board. Don't know if it'll happen, but it's quite interesting. I don't know if I'm not a big fan of Facebook at all. Just the platform and whatnot, but I think it's interesting how they're approaching this, how they're dealing with it. They do plan to roll this out next year. And there was an article I came across here. Let's see if I can find this. Okay, I've got a bunch of stuff here. I'll just look at my notes. David Marcus, he's the head of Calibra. What is Calibra? Well, Calibra is, I believe it's a nonprofit association. It's a subsidiary of Facebook formed to build Facebook's digital wallet. So Calibra will build financial services and software on top of the Libra blockchain. And let's see, I believe I got another article here that talks about that. Yeah. So the first goal of Libra is to get this digital cryptocurrency wallet launched, and then they want to integrate this wallet into all of Facebook's services. And oh, I see. Okay, I misspoke. I was saying this was a nonprofit association. No, there is a separate nonprofit entity being formed called the Libra Association. So my mistake. Calibra is separate from the Libra Association. My bad. Okay, and they're going to give equal voting power to the other partners that are in this with Facebook. You got Lyft, you got eBay, you got PayPal. Who am I forgetting there? They've got some tech companies, some venture capitalists. They've got other nonprofits that are going in on this with them. So by doing that, Facebook can say, whoa, we're not controlling this thing. Look, we've got all these other organizations and people that have a hand in this. So that's a pretty smart move by them. Okay, let's go to the next topic I've got here. We got Ripple. Okay, Ripple and XRP. What's going on with this thing? You know, this thing should be shooting to the moon by now. They've got so many big name clients on board. They've just got 2 new clients. They've got this Interbank, which is a bank operating in Peru. They're in the capital, Lima, and they provide all kinds of financial services. They're aggressively expanding in Peru, and they've got another company. How do you say this? Is it Vitesi? I think it's Vitesi. I'm not sure how to say that. They're a financial services company. They're in the UK. They handle payment services for their clients. Man, there's all this good news about Ripple, all these things going on. You know, they've got big name companies in the financial services industry. Like, what's going on with this price? Now, a couple years ago here in Japan, I did meet someone who is a well-known investor in Japan. They facilitate these big, what would you call them? You know, where you gather up 100 people or 200 people in a hotel, like a meeting room, and you tell people how to invest. Everyone pays you, a couple $1,000 to be there, and you tell them what to do. So I met one of those guys, and this was a couple years ago. This was before the big pump at the end of 2017, early 2018, and this guy knew. He knew at that time. He asked me if I knew what about XRP and Ripple. I said I knew a little bit. wasn't really favorable, and he said, well, this thing's going to take off, it's going to shoot to the moon, and he had a price target. And I remember him saying to me he invested $3 million, got his coins very, very, very cheap. And when I saw him later, because he said to me, you know, when it hits this point, I'm going to sell. And I can't remember what that number was offhand. I don't want to make something up. But I remember when XRP hit its high, this guy was just under that high. And I did hear from someone, a mutual friend, that he did sell all of his Ripple. So I figure the guy made $50 million or something off that thing. And he told me about it, like, oh yeah, you know, it won't be long and this thing is going to do a whatever X amount it was, you know, 100X or whatever from what he had bought it at. So, and he said there was a group of bankers who approached him because he's a well-known investor in Japan. And they said to him, you know, the price is here now. If you'd like to invest, we think it's going to go to about here. And then it'll drop down, so you'll be able to cash out, make a huge return, and then when it drops down, put your money back in, and you'll have, you know, numerous chances to do that. Wow, I was pretty shocked. Well, then fast forward a little bit into the future, and guess what? Cliff High, with his web bots and his crypto reports, he's saying the same thing about XRP, right? They're just skimming off the cream and sticking it to the little guy investor. So it is what it is, huh? Okay, let's see. Stellar XLM. Got a very short article here about Stellar. Let's see, who's the woman who put this together? Vera Yudina. She thinks that the Stellar price might double to 14 cents by the end of 2019. Traders are optimistic. Okay, why is that? Well, let's see. They think they think Stellar, I don't know where she got her information, but she has a lot of sources here. And this is from the U Today. I don't know, that must be an online news site here. So the U Today website, Vera Yudina put this together. Okay, so number one, she's saying that a lot of traders are saying Stellar is breaking out of the falling wedge pattern. All right. Let's see. Stellar hit an all-time low on September 14th. There was a strong bounce by the 18th, and Stellar, you know, went up 57%. That's pretty awesome. I don't think anybody saw that. And she's saying this bounce took out the EMA 10, the EMA 50, and the EMA 100 with the biggest volume bar since mid-July 2018, which tells us this is a strong move and additional growth should follow. Now, what is the EMA? That's the exponential moving average. Okay, so we've got a 10-day, a 50-day, and a 100-day moving average. I believe that's what those numbers mean. If I'm wrong, let me know. Let's see, the RSI is now above 70. The RSI is the relative strength index. So it's a number 70 is massively bullish, I guess. And then the MACD allows for plenty of room for additional growth. What the heck? Man, you got to have a master MBA in finance to figure this out. Okay, the MACD is a moving average, convergence, or divergence. And this is the trading indicator. It was created by George Apple in the late, is it Apple or Affel? A-P-P-E-L, Gerald, A-P-P-E-L, Apple we'll call him, in the late 70s. And so his indicator, it reveals changes in the strength, the direction, the momentum, and the duration of a trend in regards to price on a stock. And of course now it's being applied to cryptocurrencies. So you know, this gets pretty technical, but it correlates to the above mention of the EMAs. Basically, this moving average, convergence, divergence. You take the prices from 3 different time periods and you look at them, compare them and whatnot. And I won't get into that because I don't know it that well. But it just involves the price from 3 different time frames and you average them out or whatever. So there are people who know more about finance than myself, who maybe they do, who are saying that XLM looks pretty bullish, looks good. They think the price will double by the end of the year. Let's hope it at least does that, huh? I'm a little leery when I see people making these kinds of predictions, because more often than not, these things don't come true. It's just selling newspapers, getting viewers' eyes glued to your website, right? Okay, well, then we got BAX, Bitcoin futures trading platform, is going live. I think that's today, right? Let's look at this article here. Where did I get this from? The Cointelegraph.com, Colin Post. 2 or 3 hours ago, this article came out. Okay, Colin, way to go. New option for traders. Yeah. Okay, so what's new about this? What's new about BAX? Because we got the CME, which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and then we got the CBOE, which is the Chicago Board Options Exchange, and they currently offer trading for Bitcoin futures. However, the trades on those two exchanges are settled in cash. They are settled in fiat currency. BAX, they will settle their contracts with clients in Bitcoin. Yeah, you can get Bitcoin. You can settle your contract in Bitcoin rather than a fiat currency that the other two will give you. So that sounds pretty good to me. And let's see, why is this significant? Well, I guess it's the same with precious metals. Would you rather settle a contract and get a piece of, get fiat currency for it, or would you rather get the actual precious metal, silver or gold or platinum or whatever? Personally, I like the idea of actually getting what I think I bought, right? So this is going to be a pretty big leap forward, because it shows institutional acceptance for Bitcoin, and not just in Bitcoin. That'll get people interested in other coins, the other altcoins also. So this will give a lot of news coverage and press to different types of people that normally would not be even looking at this sort of thing, right? A lot of people, investors, people who are, they've got a 401k and they're managing it, or maybe they have someone managing it for them. They're pretty conservative in what they're doing and how they're doing it. And I've spoken with a lot of financial people here in Japan, and everyone says, oh, Bitcoin, it's a scam. Cryptocurrencies, they're a scam. No, I tell my clients, you don't want anything to do with that. Boy, you're going to lose your money. It's a big scam. It's a big scam. And yet these same financial service people, like with my father-in-law, they recommended some of the worst stock to him. He lost a boatload of money, and they had no problem saying to him, oh, just wait it out, it'll get better. Well, no, he passed away before things got better, and the guy lost 97% of his portfolio. They had no trouble pushing their shitty stocks off on people like him, who didn't know what's going on, telling them he should get into stocks for television media companies. Are you kidding me? Television media companies in this day and age? Do you really think people are watching TV? Oh my God, it was just the worst. And these are the idiots that are telling their clients, oh, don't get into cryptocurrencies. It's a scam, it's dangerous, you'll lose everything. What about all your damn clients who lost everything anyway on your advice? No one takes responsibility for that. That really ticks me off. So yeah, this is good. Hopefully more people will get into it. And I know there are a lot of investors who want to get into cryptos. They have stocks. They want to move from stocks to cryptos. But here's the deal. They've got stocks. They need to put their stocks into cash. So they need a way to move from the value they have in their stocks into cryptos. They don't want to sell their stocks, because then they're going to have a tax event, right? Sell the stock, get the money, put the money into an exchange, buy cryptos. So they're looking for a way to just shoot over from traditional stocks right into cryptos. So maybe this BAX will be a way to do that, or it will be a stepping stone to do that. Okay. My last thing here is I want to just talk about the prices of some coins, cryptocurrency, And let's see, our market cap, when I checked just before I did this video, is at 263 billion, not that big. And let's see, I talked a couple days ago about cryptos. I talked about Tezos, Neo, OMG, EOS, Bitcoin Cash. Let's see, the other day, Tezos was 108, today it's 105. Not too big of a move. And those were the coins I told you that have a very nice definite pattern of up and down, are pretty easy for trading. Neo was 998, it's back down to 898. Now if you remember 2 days ago when I said, oh, Neo is currently 998, it was a few days before that 898. So if a person had thought, hey, wow, 898, that's like $1. I've gained $1 there. I'm going to sell. And then if you had bought back, for every 15, let's see, what's the price there? Yeah, for like every 10, you'd gain 1, right? If my math is correct there. So yeah, you could have gotten $1 profit out of each Neo that you held. Not too bad. Not too bad for a couple of days work, right? And then, as I said previously, I'm not telling you to trade. I'm not recommending trading. It's not advice, but just saying, hey, look at these patterns here. Aren't they interesting? OMG was $1.15, 115. Now it's $1.06. That would have been pretty sweet to get rid of a bit of that and buy it back today. EOS was 408. Now it's 379. Bitcoin was right around 10,002 2 days ago. Now it's at 9,995. Bitcoin Cash was 327. Today is 305. So, if you were very confident of yourself and you sold a little bit and bought back a couple of days later, there are chances to increase your bags, right? Increase your holdings. Okay, and then I want to just mention some coins that are not doing much, and I'm really watching them intensely because I think we're going to have a big low coming up, a big low in the market, and that will be a very sweet opportunity to pick up some coins at bargain prices. Okay, XRP, that's at 27 cents right now. I'm still wondering if it's going to hit 19, 20 cents. Just wondering. Litecoin, it's in the $72 range. Litecoin hasn't been doing much, huh? And interestingly enough, whenever I look at Litecoin, I'm being shown Monero. And so today, Litecoin is in the 72 range, Monero the 71 range. There was a time about 3-4 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, Litecoin was trading $10 more per coin than Monero. And then about 10 days after that, Monero was way up on Litecoin. And at the time, I did have a dream where one of my guides said to me, move your Litecoin into Monero. I didn't do it. I didn't know much about Monero. I've been looking at it, here and there. Don't know a lot about it. And then hearing that was, wow, what do they know? I don't know. Well, Litecoin, dropped down and Monero just kept going up. So it would have been a really great move if I had done it. I think I could have gained about, let's see, I could have moved into Monero and then I could have gained about $15 on each Litecoin. Besides getting, Monero cheaper, I would have gained $15. And then all I would have had to have done is just jump back into Litecoin. So anyway, it's easy to say now, but at the time I did have a dream where someone said, hey, move your Litecoin into Monero. And that would have been a great move. Stellar, wow, Stellar, we were just talking about that. It's at 6.6 cents. Remember, it was up around 8 to 11 for the longest time. It's cheap now. Cardano is at 4.8 cents. Holy moly. Digibyte is at 7/10 of 1 cent. 7/10 of 1 cent. This is cheap. Theta is at around 10 cents. And then we got PoonDX, which is one I like. That's like 3/100th of a cent right now. 3/100th of a cent. So, if you wanted to load the boat on Pundi, now might be a good time. So those are just some coins that I'm intensely watching, keeping my eye on them. Like I said, I think there's going to be a downturn in the market from now until the beginning of October sometime, maybe until the 8th or the 10th, I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that. Okay, that's all the news I got there. I just every day I read a lot, and I'm looking at a lot of crypto news, trying to increase my knowledge about things. I've always been pretty good at putting things together, gathering a lot of news, creating a big macro picture for myself, and then diving down a little deeper into some of the topics, and it's helped me a lot in the past as far as choosing cryptos and doing a little bit of trading in cryptos. And I'd just like to share it with everybody, so I hope this is interesting for you. Okay, one more thing before I sign off. I know some of you are probably waiting for my next video on parallel realities. The one reality I was talking about, this very intense reality with these superhero type individuals. I'm working on that now. I hope to have it out in the next couple days. So yeah, be looking out for that, okay? All right, everybody, have a great weekend. You all take care, and I will see you soon.